Hello everyone, Reza here. In this video, I will show you 5 must-know features or tips of the gallery control in Power Apps. The 5 features include the fields property, the use of Copilot, the default property, flexible height galleries, and the navigation step property. So let's check this video out in action. So let's begin with inserting the gallery control, which allows us to show multiple records from a data source. I'll insert a vertical gallery in which the items are stacked vertically. The data source that I will be connecting to is a very simple SharePoint list that has various types of columns. So I'll connect my gallery to my SharePoint list. And by default, for a vertical gallery, we are presented with a layout which is image, title, and subtitle. So the gallery template here contains an image control and a couple of label controls. We are provided with various layout options to choose from. I pick title, subtitle, and body. This will go and transform my gallery layout, and now it includes 3 label controls. Now the first tip here is to use the fields property of a gallery. If I go to edit, this will list out all those label controls. Title 2 is the name of my label control in which it is showcasing the title column data coming in from my SharePoint list. Subtitle 2 shows the description data, and the body label control shows the status value. Now, the beauty of fields is it understands the types of columns that it is dealing with. Status is a choice column in my SharePoint list. So we can see how it's pointing to the value property of that choice column. Now, subtitle is showing the description. If I open this drop down, it will list out all the columns from my connected data source. Now, priority is also a choice column in my SharePoint list. If I would like to show priority, all I have to do is just go pick that column. Let's try and show a person type column value. So for body, I will say assigned to, and observe the display value currently shows the claims token of the user. Person type column exposes various properties. I can easily see that here and pick the property that I want to display. I can change that to email or job title or department or so on and so forth. Tag, in my case, is a managed metadata type column in SharePoint. Let's try and show that instead of priority. I'll simply say tag, and now it's a managed metadata column. It gives me all the properties related to that column. I have full flexibility to decide which property from that complex type column I would like to pick. If I was to edit the gallery and insert additional label controls, so I'll just drop a couple of label controls. Now, if I go back to fields, notice my new label control names are also listed here. So for due date, I would like to show the due date. Assign to, I'll pick assign to and show the display name. So you can see how easily I can pick my columns and it will straight out represent in the gallery. The next tip is around using the Copilot feature. Now, when I edit the gallery for these label controls, I have the option of a Copilot. Let's try this. Here I get 2 options, text formatting and conditional formatting. Now the due date label control is showcasing the due date data from my data source. Let's format its text. Now Copilot already has the sample data here, so it understands the format. And if I click on desired format, notice how it suggests or recommends certain formats related to dates. I can pick any of these, or I can define my own format. And you can see, as I define these formats, Copilot will suggest the expression for me in order to transform the text to display in this format. Here, Windows dot will open the emoji keyboard. I can also add emojis. Notice how the formula changes here to concatenate that emoji with the expression to transform the text. If I click on this, it will select this expression that Copilot has generated for me, and I can say apply. And just like that, my gallery transforms how that data is showcased for that date label control. Now notice there are certain scenarios where the date column value is empty. So for that, I'll go back to Copilot and this time go to conditional formatting. Here I will say, if due date is blank, then hide. Notice it relates to the visible property of this label control. So for this property, it suggests the expression not is blank, this item dot due date. I will select it, click apply, and notice now when the due date is empty, it does not display that control. Let's try another conditional formatting. If due date is less than today, then set color to red. Copilot suggests an expression for the color property. I'll select and apply. And notice wherever the due dates are less than today, it's conditionally formatting the color. If you select gallery, we can take advantage of Copilot to frame our formulas, sorting, filtering, or searching data in the gallery. So here's an example for sorting. I'll say sort. It suggests a formula. So sort issue tracker, that's the name of my connected SharePoint list, by, let's say, modified, which is a column in SharePoint that tracks the modified date, Z to A, meaning descending order. So you can see for the items property, this is the expression that Copilot is suggesting. I can apply, and this will go and sort the data in my gallery. The next tip is around the default property of the gallery control. Now, by design, the gallery control has the first item selected. The user can go ahead and select any other item in the gallery. But there are scenarios in which you would not want a default selection for the gallery to begin with. And to do that, all you have to do is for the gallery control's default property, you set that to an empty record. Now, if you observe, no item in the gallery is selected to begin with. And the moment I make a selection, that specific item would be selected. Now, let me show you one use of that default property. Here, I have a gallery whose default property is set to that empty record. Now, when I select an item in the gallery, a form control that is connected to the gallery lights up and shows the data respective to the selected item of the gallery. It's a form control, so the user has the option to change the column values. Let's say I change the priority here from high to low. I submit. We can see that the priority value has changed. In the screen, I've also provided the users an option to filter the data based on the status. In progress, when I select that, the gallery gets filtered. There is no specific item selected to begin with. If you explore the properties, we have a property called show navigation. And if this is turned on, it gives us this icon which allows us to navigate through the items of the gallery. So I can scroll or I can navigate. The scroll bar, the navigation, I can turn them on or off. Now in this case, I'm showing the navigation. I'm putting the ID of the item from my SharePoint list here to show that when you click the step navigation, it navigates through the items one by one. However, if you would like to increase that step count, you have an option for that. Navigation step is the property. By default, it's 1. My gallery is showing 5 items. So when I hit the step navigation, it should move me to the next 5 items. And to do that, all I have to do is change the navigation step. Now, if you note, it shows the items 1 to 5. I select, shows the next 5. Select, takes me to the last 5. And I can navigate back to the top in the same manner. Different types of galleries that we can leverage. In general, there are 3 types of galleries available. We have a vertical gallery. There is also a blank vertical gallery. It is exactly the same as the vertical gallery. Just the difference is that when the gallery loads, the layout will be blank to begin with. If you pick vertical gallery, the layout will be image, title, and subtitle to begin with. A vertical gallery stacks data vertically. There is also a horizontal gallery that stacks data horizontally. My vertical gallery, I'll connect it to a list in SharePoint called Asset Manager. And the horizontal gallery as well, I'll connect it to that same list. Now, if I preview this, on the left, I have the vertical gallery that's showcasing the data vertically. And on the right, I have the horizontal gallery that is showcasing the data horizontally. Now, the third type of gallery that we have is called a flexible height gallery. This gallery stacks data vertically, but the advantage we get here is that the height of the items of the gallery are flexible. So let's compare this with the vertical gallery. I'll add a vertical gallery and I will add a flexible height gallery. The vertical gallery, I will connect it to my issue tracker list. My flexible height gallery, the data source I'll pick is my issue tracker list. So here I'll start with a blank flexible height gallery. And in this gallery, I can start inserting my labels to show the data. The first label will show the title. The second label will show the description. And the third label is showcasing the status value. My description column is of type multi-lines of text. So let me go ahead and update the description to include large data for certain rows. In my vertical height gallery, my label control is not showcasing the complete value in the description column. Of course, I can go and turn on auto height, but then this will go beyond the template height of that gallery. And then in that case, I have to adjust the height so I fit that data. But then if you notice, the template size of the vertical height gallery is fixed. If I have a large description, it will consume that real estate. But if I don't, I'll get a big blank white space. Now for a flexible height gallery, here is my label that's showing the description value. If I turn on auto height for this, I place the status column above. Now if I preview this, notice how the height is flexible. And that's why this is a flexible height gallery. Now if I need to add a demarcation between the gallery items, I'll simply edit and insert the rectangle shape. I'll just place it right here for this item. Now this rectangle shape should sit right below the label that's showcasing the description. And for the rectangle shape's Y property, I'll make it relative to the description label by using the formula lbl description dot y plus lbl description dot height, and I'll add another 5 pixels. If I preview the app, now that rectangle shape is positioned right at the end where that specific record ends in the gallery control. And that's flexible height gallery in action. If you enjoyed this video, then do like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you so much for watching.